They need to leave. They will be ready if the fire gets too close.
But we took all our albums out of pictures, some important papers, and some jewelry and stuff like that. And I've been ready to go, but my family left, a couple hours ago.
Okay. In just the past minute or two, we've seen a lot of pieces of ash coming down here off the top of this hill back here. So far, once again, about 10 acres have been destroyed as firefighters try to get this contained. A warning for people who are going to drive in this area. Highway 1 northbound at Loring has been closed down so that fire trucks can get in here. Of course, with the wind, as I mentioned, we have seen some ashes come in here just in the last few moments. That is a major concern out here if the wind conditions get any worse. And to look at the wind today, we go to the Weather Center with Rob Mayetta. Rob?
Show you some of the conditions from Chopper 11. Ben Moore showing you what it's like there on the ground. He mentioned some of the ash and embers from the fire drifting overhead. Chopper 11's view showing you the smoke being fanned off to the east by some pretty gusty winds. Switching now to the roaming radar, I can show you some weather conditions around the fire. 62 degrees, but the more important number there, the winds sustained out of the west close to 20 miles per hour, and I do think we'll continue to see wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour right around that fire burning very close to Highway 1, and the weather forecast does call for stronger winds over the next couple of days. We'll have a closer look at that in your forecast coming up later on in this newscast. Chris?
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Looking again live at the scene, here's where we stand. About 10 acres are burned in Marin County. The fire is threatening area homes. 45 engines are now on the scene and more are headed out. Highway 1 is shut down south of Muir Beach and Four Corners in the northbound direction. And as we see live from Chopper 11, again, there are homes in that fire line. Strong winds are making it tough to fight that fire. We will continue to update you on this throughout the newscast.
Firefighters from across the Bay Area are still on the scene of a blaze on the flanks of Mount Tamalpais in Marin County that for a time forced the closure of Highway 1 in both directions. Fire broke out about this afternoon near the junction of the Shoreline and Panoramic Highways and threatened to burn dozens of homes. KTVU's Diane Garazzi is in Marin County with the latest in this live report. Diane?
Ken, right now firefighters are trying to control the flames. They've managed to contain the fire, put a perimeter around it within just this past hour. Flames have burned 30 to 35 acres of steep terrain lush with eucalyptus trees. The subdivision of Muir Meadows borders the fire area. It has 80 homes. None of the homes has burned, but neighbors have been ready to evacuate just in case.
I've never seen anything like this. It's totally surreal. It's really surreal.
The first report of the fire came at 3:15 this afternoon, but neighbors say they smelled trouble earlier.
About 1 o'clock, smell smoke, saw smoke. It's just getting worse.
When I came out, actually most of the hillside was probably a line, I'd say probably a mile long of flames.
Neighbors use garden hoses to wet down their roofs.
My fear now is it's coming up the hill toward our house. You can see the flames at the bottom of our street.
Fire officials say flames threatened only a few homes, but wind-whipped embers could have spread miles away, and the wind was blowing at the top of the ridge. Crews this afternoon fought the fire from the air, dropping water collected from ponds at Muir Beach. Firefighters from all over Marin County, as well as parts of Sonoma and Contra Costa, are battling flames from the ground.
We're going to set 4 engine to the back there.
They had to lay out as much as 1/3 of a mile of hose at a time in order to get water to the flames.
There's a hydrant up here and there's a hydrant down there. We were going to attach the one across the street.
In case they should have to evacuate, neighbors loaded up their cars and trucks, packing whatever they deemed most precious.
Money and jewelry and passports and family photos.
Investigators aren't sure how the fire started, but they say they have an idea as to where, in a grove of eucalyptus trees.
I'm sure that the huge amount of litter that's underneath most eucalyptus groves, it got going in there, and away we go.
1100 on White 2. Crews will be out here all night, and residents say they won't be getting much sleep either, worrying about their homes. Now, even though the fire is contained, people are concerned about the possibility of the wind kicking things up again and stirring the embers.
And Garazzi has the very latest. Diane?
Ken, the wind has really been kicking up here the past 20 minutes or so, but firefighters say that really doesn't worry them that much at this point because they feel they have the upper hand. They've contained the flames to 30 to 35 acres, and while they haven't yet declared the fire controlled, they say it is mostly out. They are leaving only 35 firefighters on the lines all night long. All of the fire hoses are remaining in place just in case. All the fire alarms are established. No homes burned, although a few were threatened earlier this afternoon. 80 homes are in this subdivision known as Muir Meadows. Many residents had their cars and trucks all packed up, ready to evacuate just in case. Behind me, you see some crews are just we're getting ready to pull out and leaving only 35 firefighters at the top and the bottom of this hilly terrain just in case the embers do kick up from this wind. As you can probably see, it is gusting from time to time right now, and they're hoping for the best. And people, I think, are going to be watching out their windows. They're not going to be getting a great night's sleep here in Mill Valley tonight because they are concerned that something could happen with the state of the wind here tonight.